Good day, Dacians. Once again, I am Engineer Heidi Rose G. Mendoza, your instructor for the subject Introduction to Maritime Career. So for this episode, we are going to discuss about the nature of the fire. Okay, so understanding how to fight a fire requires knowledge of fire behavior and the chemistry of fire. So this includes understanding on how fire starts, what can fuel a fire, how fire acts in a different environment, and what procedure can keep a fire from spreading. Okay, so let us discuss first the theory of fire. Okay, so fire is a chemical reaction involving rapid oxidation or burning of fuel. So the following three elements must be present at the same time in order to start for a fire to start. So these three elements is also known as the fire triangle. Okay? So when we say fire triangle, the three elements included are the fuel, oxygen, and heat. So when we say fuel, it doesn't mean that it should be fuel oil or gasoline. It doesn't mean like that. Fuel means any combustible material. It can be flammable gases, liquids, air, or solids. It can be, when we say solid, it can be paper, wood. So most solids and liquids must vaporize before they will burn. So next element of the fire triangle is oxygen. So sufficient oxygen must be present in the atmosphere surrounding the fuel for fire to burn. So the air feeding for a fire only needs to be made up of 16%. So the oxygen present in the air or in the atmosphere is enough to fuel a fire or to start a fire, because the oxygen level at the air or in the atmosphere is about 21%. So, but when the oxygen content of the air is less than 16%, it will automatically kill or stop the fire. So next is heat. So heat is a sufficient heat energy, hot surfaces, electrical equipment, smoking, naked lights must be applied to raise the fuel to its ignition temperature. So when these three is present, there will be a fire. So, but how does a fire spread? So we have three methods of or three modes of heat transfer. A fire spreads by transferring heat energy in three ways. We have radiation, convection, and conduction. So what is radiation? So radiation refers to the emission of energy in rays or waves. So it transfers heat via waves. So it doesn't necessarily need for you to feel the heat to touch it. So it doesn't need to be touched. So example is when you stand near a lamp or a bulb, you can feel the heat energy released by the bulb by simply staying near it because of the waves transversing. So in the example here, in the sample illustration here is the radiation. So the radiation, you can see that he doesn't touch the fire directly. So but he can feel the heat because of the waves. Next mode of heat transfer is convection. Okay, so convection is the transfer of heat by the physical movement of hot masses of air. So, for the convection, it is the heat transfer via fluid. So, when we say fluid, it's anything that has the ability to flow. It can be a liquid or an air. So, here, when you place your hands on top of the fire, on top of the bonfire, you can feel the heat because of the air or the smoke moving upwards. The last mode of heat transfer is the conduction. So, conduction is the transfer of heat within the materials itself. So, it needs to be directly touched so that the heat can transfer from one from one medium to another. So, what are the classifications of fire? So, we have Class A, Class B, Class C, Class D, and Class K. So, in Class A, what does it include? So, Class A fire includes ordinary combustibles or most probably solid. So, its examples are wood, paper, cloth, and more. And Class B fire, it is flammable liquids. So, if Class A is solid, Class B is flammable liquids. It can be grease, oil, paint, or solvents. Class C fire. So, Class C fire is the fire that started from live electrical equipment. So, burning of electrical panel, motor, wiring are the example of Class C fire. Class D fire. So, the example of the Class D fire is the combustible metal. So, example of this is burning of magnesium and aluminum. And last is the Class K fire. So, from the letter K, it means kitchen. So, commercial cooking equipment. So, it includes cooking oils, animal fats, and vegetable oils. It can be classified as an example of Class K fire. Next, how does the fire extinct? Or how can we destroy or kill a fire? So, we have different methods and approaches. We have the method of cooling. So, understanding the fire triangle can help you to extinct or kill the fire. So, cooling is the removing of heat is one of the most effective methods of fire extinction available. So, which is why water is a popular extinguishing material. Okay, so, in the fire triangle, ang nire-remove po doon ay yung heat. So, ang pagka nire-remove natin yung heat, ang tawag sa method na yon ay cooling. So, the medium used for cooling, commonly used for cooling is water. Next method of fire extinction is starving. So, kung sa cooling ang nire-remove natin sa fire triangle ay oxygen, sa starving naman, ang nire-remove natin ay yung fuel source. Okay, so starving the blaze of its fuel source approaches extinction from a different angle. So, smothering. So, as the other key component present in the chemical reaction that causes combustion, removing oxygen from the equation is the final way of extinguishing a fire. So, sa smothering naman, ang nire-remove natin sa fire triangle ay si oxygen. So, we have different types of firefighting agents that can usually be found on board. We have the dry powder. Its color coding on board is blue. So, It can be used, dry powder can be used to kill type Class A fire, Class B fire, Class C fire, and Class E fire. Class C fire. Okay, so next firefighting agent, we have the foam spray. So the color coding of this on board is color cream or dirty white. So it can be used on Class A and Class B fire, but it cannot be used and should not be used on live electrical equipment fire and flammable metals. So it cannot be used in type A and type C and type D fire. So we also have water. Water can be used to extinguish or fight fire, Class A fire. But water cannot be used on, of course, in electrical equipment, because we all know that water is a good conductor of electricity. So next, it cannot be used also in flammable liquids, and it also cannot be used on flammable metals. So water is only applicable to Class A fire. Last one, we have the carbon dioxide firefighting agent. So the color coding of the CO2 is color black. So CO2 can be used in Class B fire, and it is very good in to use in Class C fire, so, or in a live electrical equipment. But it should not be used on Class A fire. So how are we going to use these portable fire extinguishers? So just remember the pass code. So P stands for pull the pin. So you are going to pull the safety pin. Then next, aim at the base of the fire. Target the base of the fire. And S, squeeze the lever here. And then another S is sweep side to side. Next is so just remember the code pass in using portable fire extinguisher. So pull the pin, aim at the base of fire, squeeze the lever, and then sweep side to side. Okay. So that's all for the nature of fire. And I hope that I was able to help you understanding the nature or the chemistry of fire in this episode. So I hope to see you on our next episode, and have a good day.